Hi everybody, welcome to another Paystack developer workshop. My name is Andrew, and I'm with the Paystack developer relations team. I'm going to pause a little. I'm going to play a video while we wait for more people to join. Maybe we'll start in 2 minutes. And in the meantime, we'll just play some YouTube videos and let you get settled before we get started. In the bottom right corner, there is a chat box where you can greet each other and let us know where you're dialing in from. So, like I said, I'm Andrew, and I'm dialing in from Nairobi. Yeah, let's. Yeah, in the meantime, we'll just play a bit of one last video, and then we'll start as more people join. All right, cool. Let me share one last video. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, 2 minutes are up, so we'll start off. Like I said earlier, for those who are just joining, my name is Andrew. I'm with the DevRel team at Paystack, and welcome to the developer workshop. And today's workshop is going to be very, very different because we have two guests with us, and that is Femi and Andrew. Femi from Nigeria and Andrew from Ghana, and they're going to be taking us through how to build e-commerce apps with MedusaJS. If this is your first time hearing about MedusaJS, you'll be pleasantly surprised at how easy it is to build e-commerce stores in JavaScript. And we hope this will be a great, great, great learning experience. So on today's agenda we'll do real quickly introduction to developer workshops, and then we'll have an intro to MedusaJS by Femi, and then how we built it, also done by Femi, and then Andrew Glago will take us through the actual practical setup of MedusaJS. So cool. So I'm Andrew, like I said, with the Paystack DevRel team. And welcome to the developer workshops, where they're live learning sessions where we get to talk about different things about building with Paystack, open source projects, and other ways you can grow using Paystack products. For this session, we have our honorable guests, Femi Akinyemi and Andrew Glago. Femi describes himself as a front-end developer working with Datamelon, and he's an avid open source contributor. While Andrew is a full stack dev at Pub Genius, and his core focus, he's passionate about web optimization and accessibility. And those are their Twitter handles right there, so you can follow them at Akinyemi_T and at A11W. Just so apt, like it's a signature to accessibility. Welcome, guys. Welcome. I want to hand over now to Femi. Femi will take this session and he will introduce us to what MedusaJS is, what it does, and how you develop it, how we can benefit from it. Femi, over to you.
Okay, so good afternoon once again, good day, or whatever the time is, wherever you are joining us from. So, like as Andrew have just introduced me, I go by the name Femi Akinyemi, and I'm a front-end developer working with DataMelon here in Nigeria, and I'm an active open source contributor. So that's just a brief summary about myself. So thank you, Andrew. So I'll be taking us through this section and introducing us to MedusaJS. I know some people might be hearing MedusaJS for the first time. So this section will let us know what MedusaJS is all about and what we need to know and how it can help us as a developer. So let's get into it. So what is MedusaJS? Okay, MedusaJS, we've been hearing MedusaJS. What is MedusaJS? So MedusaJS is an open source composable commerce platform. Like it's a module where you can use to build your e-commerce applications. So that's just the basic meaning to build your e-commerce application. Like you don't need to build from scratch. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. So it's an open source composable commerce platform with with a lot of tools and modules for building distinct commerce experiences. And MedusaJS provides building blocks for developers to create powerful and flexible commerce applications. And as of today, we have thousands of developers and different brands making use of MedusaJS to power their e-commerce websites or applications. So MedusaJS is just a tool for you to build your e-commerce applications. Has provided different blocks, different modules like carts, products, and a lot of good features to build your MedusaJS. Medusa has backend admin setup. They have admin because imagine you are just starting from scratch, building an admin. You can know how tedious that can be. So you don't need to go through all those stress. So you can quickly use MedusaJS to set up your e-commerce applications. And that's what MedusaJS is all about. So that's just a bit summary of what MedusaJS is all about. And why do you want to use Medusa, or why should you use MedusaJS? Like, why do you want to use MedusaJS? With MedusaJS, easily you can set up development time, quick development time. You can set up your store within minutes. It's easy to get started with, quick development time, and another good thing there is you can integrate with favorite tools like maybe you are a React developer, you are a Vue developer, you work with Angular, and you want to have a store within minutes. So it's been provided in a way that easily you can easily integrate your storefronts with favorite tools of your choice. So those are few things, like one of the few things you can use to why you should choose Medusa.js. And different modules have been provided for you as a developer, your cart, your order, your admin. So instead of you to be building all those things, Medusa has catered for all those features, all those good features. And another good part is Medusa.js is open source with large community. So you don't need to to start having issues. You don't want to use a tool where you have an issue and it take time, it take weeks or months to to get it resolved. So it's open source, like the code is free and the community is there, supportive community to get started. And on the list there is continuous updates and enhancements. Why you should use Medusa? Like, okay, the team working on Medusa.js ship features like almost every time regularly. So they get updates shipped almost every time. So that's one of the good things you should consider Medusa.js, like continuous updates and enhancements, easily set up within time, predefine modules, integrate with favorite tools and different modules. So that's one of the good reasons why you choose Medusa.js. And okay, on the next slide is building Medusa Paystack, the plugin myself and Andrew worked on. So I'll take us through how the journey actually started. Okay, so the journey. Okay, this is how myself and Andrew met. It all started on Medusa Discord server. It was during Oktoberfest. I believe we all know what Oktoberfest is all about. We are all developers. It's an annual event that happens in October where developers get to contribute to open source projects. So that was when myself and Andrew met each other. So we wanted to contribute to open source, and we both met on Medusa Discord server, and it was during that time that Medusa was organizing their hackathon. So we discussed and okay, guy, let's both contribute to this project, which is Medusa. And okay, we talked, we had various conversations, and we decided to integrate Paystack for local currencies. Reason why we decided to work and build Medusa Paystack was that okay, one, Paystack works in our country. Me, I'm from Nigeria, while my friend Andrew is from Ghana. Okay. We realized that if you want to use all these foreign global products, it's always hard for you to to integrate, like it's always hard to cater for local currencies. So that was the major issue that I've faced in the past. And he also has also faced that. So we're able to add an alignment like, okay, guy, let's integrate Paystack with Medusa for local currencies, because we saw that as a major challenge for African people. You know, imagine you want to set up a store and all you can see is Stripe. So it's always hard at times to get your money, like to get your products, your money in local currency. So that was the reason why we decided to work with, like to build that plugin that integrates Paystack with MedusaJS so you can get your local currencies. Okay. Then after that, we decided to set our goals and principles. Okay, guy, we know what we want to do now. Okay, we're integrating Paystack with MedusaJS. And okay, now what's the next thing? We need to set our goals. Now, what are the things we need to do? Our principles, our guiding principles. And on the list, the first one is okay, global feature parity with other payment plugins like okay, guy, if we are integrating Paystack with Medusa, the first thing we need to do is, okay, we need to have a standard Stripe, and we need to have the good features that will make our Paystack, like our plugin, to be globally acceptable to everyone. So the standard must be there. Like, that's why the first on the list was global feature parity with other payment plugins. So that was the first goal. We said, like, okay, guy, we know what we want to do now. We are integrating Paystack with Medusa, and okay, now, on our principle, the first thing is it must be standard, it must be globally acceptable. You know, we are coming from Africa. You know, if you can, how funny it can be. Your product is coming from Africa at times. So one, we need to have that standard, like okay, compatible and globally acceptable, be able to set up like what Stripe and other products would do, Medusa Paystack should also do. So that's one of the things we have on our principle goals. Then another thing is seamless integration. We don't want to have a plugin that okay, when we are done building, it will be hard for developers to integrate. No, we don't want to have that. So another point on our list was okay, seamless integration. Like okay, now our plugin must be seamless when you want to use it, when you want to integrate it. So that's the second thing on the list. Then another on the principle goes again was comprehensive test coverage. Like, okay, now we need okay, our plugin must be well tested. You know, now you don't want to you are talking about money, you don't want to ship a plugin that is not well tested. So we make sure that okay, the plugin is well tested, globally compatible, acceptable, the standard is there, and seamless integration. So those are the three principles we had in place when we started. So, and it was our guiding principles when we started working on the project. And next, we started building, and after that, we started developing. And the biggest challenge for us, you know, now me, I'm coming from Nigeria. Andrew was coming from Ghana. We were both new to Medusa, so Medusa seemed complex. Like, okay, we're new to MedusaJS. Myself and Andrew were both new to MedusaJS, and it seemed complex for both of us to get started with. Though Medusa is very great, they had a very good documentation, and Paystack too had good documentation. So it was very big. It was very complex. It was like getting into Medusa for the first time because we were new to it, and there are a lot of rich features that Medusa had in place. But one good thing is you don't need to know everything about Medusa before you can actually build or integrate with it. So that's one of the good advantage. Then another good thing is our goals, what we wanted to build. We wanted to build Medusa Paystack, right? That will be globally acceptable in standard rate as Stripe. So it looks big, it looks ambitious, like very big for us. So those are the few challenges we had in place. But The good part of it was Paystack documentation was great. Paystack had a wonderful documentation. Medusa documentation was nice, and we were able to show that, and we were able to build the plugin. So that was the major challenge for us. And I think those are just the few things we just put together to just show us the, like, to take us through the journey and how it went.
Awesome, 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 awesome. Well done, Andrew. Well done, Femi. Apologies. I just had one question. So, how did you overcome the feeling that Medusa is very complex and you guys want to achieve this global parity? How did you overcome that?
Okay, yeah. Like I mentioned, Medusa like seemed complex. We were both new to it. Myself, I was new. We've never heard of Medusa before. We just wanted to contribute. That was what brought us together, myself and Andrew. But with good documentation from both Paystack and Medusa, I think we were able to overcome that. So it was us going through the documentation, taking our time, reading the documentation, and studied what paste, I mean, the what's it called? Stripe had in place. So we took our time to study, to read what is in place, and with documentation we're able to go about that.
Awesome, 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 awesome. Let me check the chat for some questions. And
Okay.
again, reminder to our attendees, you can use the questions tab to ask your questions and we will answer them live. So the first question that came in was from Tope. Tope was asking, how do we access this session recording later? So just to everybody, as long as you've registered on the live storm, you'll get it immediately we finish this, or within a few minutes of us completing this session. And then we'll also upload it next week on our YouTube channel under the Developer Workshops playlist. So I've dropped links to the YouTube channel directly, actually, to the Developer Workshops playlist, where you can catch all our previous presentations. Um, are there any questions? Okay, Praise has asked a question. Can it be integrated into a freelance company to facilitate payment? Femi, what do you think about that?
Okay. Praise is asking if it can be integrated. Okay, yeah. If you are using MedusaJS, because the plugin is specifically for Medusa, so it's only when you are using Medusa that you can integrate that. Yeah.
All right, cool, cool, cool. So, as a freelance company, yes, so I can package my services as products and use Medusa as well, and I'll be able to get paid through that, right? So
Yeah.
the main
If you are, if
requirement
you
is
are, okay, continue, Andy, sorry.
awesome, 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 awesome. Okay, cool. More questions. Let's start with Ramat. So Ramat is asking, how did you have to use Medusa JS for a while before coming up with the idea to integrate Paystack?
No,
You
no,
can.
no, we didn't. It was from our experience, my experience and Andrew's experience. We've used different global products in the past, and we realized that getting money in our local currencies was hard. So that was what led to the idea. So it's not as if we wanted to contribute to Medusa as our contributing to open source. And it was during that time that Medusa organized the accounting. So, and since I've faced the problem, I've encountered the problem, Andrew has also encountered it. So that was the main reason why we're able to come up with that solution. Like, okay, why not let us solve this that okay, I'm facing is also facing it. So we've not used Medusa before we're able to do that.
Ah, awesome. So it's sort of like scratching your own itch, isn't it? Solving your own pain point. Because I guess it's hard to use Medusa to build e-commerce platforms and then you're not able to get paid where you are at. So like in Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Kenya. So then you guys decided, let me solve my own problem. Let me go ahead, build this plugin, and now I can start using it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks for that question, Ramat. That was a very good question. Um, okay, David. David is asking, does MedusaJS have a non-coding platform?
So does Medusa has what?
A no-code platform. I think he's asking, is it possible to use it no code?
Okay, no code. No, it's not a no code.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not a no code because for you to use Medusa, you must have your backend setup, your admin setup, and integrate it with. But
Yes.
Medusa produce some sort of APIs you can integrate with your app.
Okay, cool. Cool, 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 cool. Last question from Umaran. He's asking, or they're asking, how long did the building process take, considering all the challenges you
Okay,
guys?
it's the project is active in maintain like we are maintaining it, but it took us about let's say a month.
Wow, one
Yeah,
month.
I think it took us about a month, like 4 weeks.
Nice, 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 nice. Cool. So on to the next phase. So in this stage, this is the time where we see the work these two gentlemen have put together. We get to see how we can set up a Medusa store and how we can run it and integrate payments with it. For this session, Andrew Glago will take over, and he's also one of the. For those of you who've just joined us, he's a co-creator with Femi of the Medusa Paystack plugin. Take the stage, Andrew.
Hi, my name is Andrew, and I guess I get to do the fun part. So we'll work on creating a Medusa store, and then from there we'll talk about integrating Paystack payments to your Medusa store. So first off, creating a Medusa store. What we're going to do in this session is set up an e-commerce store people can come to visit and see products you have available for sale, and also make payments. So what do we need as prerequisites for creating this Medusa store? First of all, you need Node.js, at least version 16. Node.js is the runtime Medusa uses. So you need to have that set up locally, and you need a database, specifically a PostgreSQL database. This can be running locally, or you could have this set up on a website somewhere, on a server somewhere. Yeah, you just need a way to connect to your Postgres database. Cool, cool. So once you have your prerequisites, you get into actually creating a Medusa store. So like Femi talked about earlier, the Medusa store is composed of two parts mainly. The backend, which serves as the heart of your store, where your products, your data is stored. The admin console, so the backend comes with an admin console you can use to manage your store. And then we need to create a storefront. A storefront is where your users will actually access. So you as owner of the store, you will be mainly at the backend handling your store, and users will visit your storefront. Cool, cool. So I'm going to share my screen now, and yeah, we'll get into coding. Okay, can you hear me? Ah,
Andrew, I think you need to speak with your outside voice.
I speak my outside voice.
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, we are going to run a command to scaffold our backend. So Medusa provides you a create Medusa app CLI. It's a CLI application that allows you to quickly get set up with Medusa. So I'm going to run that command now. I prefer to use PNPM, so I'm going to run the command with PNPM DLX, create Medusa app at latest. So what this will do is download the create Medusa app binary, and also run it. Now, create Medusa app will take over after and ask me a few questions to basically set up my store. So I'm being asked now, what's the name of my project? What do I want to call my store? I'm fine calling it a merch store. I plan to sell merch on my store. The email for my admin dashboard user. So who's going to use the dashboard? The admin dashboard. I'm fine keeping it as a default email. And now I need to provide the credentials to my Postgres instance. So Postgres and default. What this will do is set up my Medusa store. So basically set up my Medusa store in a folder named Cool Store. Can you see my screen?
I think you can make it a little bigger so we can see. Yeah. Cool. That's fantastic.
Okay. So as a quick recap, I run the create Medusa app command and just answer the questions it asked me to set up the backend. Cool. So what this would do is set up my Medusa backend. And after that, we'll have a Medusa store open we are going to use. So this will automatically open my Medusa backend. Let me navigate to that now. So we are at our Medusa backend. What we're going to do now is set up the default admin user. So I said my email was admin@medusatest.com. I'm going to create my password. And boom, we have a Medusa store set up now. So what we have here is the Medusa store. The port number is 7001, but you don't need to remember that Medusa opened this page for you automatically once after running this command. So my store allows me to configure orders, products. I could see customers who have visited my store previously. I could create discounts that applied automatically to products. I could set up gift cards, pricing, and settings to basically manage my store. So my store is pretty empty right now. What I'm going to do is seed it with, just basically create products in the store for use in this demo. But you'll find links to documentation teaching you on how you create products and basically manage your Medusa admin store in the chat. So what I'm going to do now is cd into my merge store. And just run the seed command. So pnpm Medusa seed. So what I'm doing here is telling pnpm to run the Medusa binary I downloaded previously with the seed command and the seed file. It's just a seed file created for the purposes of this demo. So when that is done, I'm going to start on my store again. Go back to my store. I need to reload this. I'll zoom in. Sorry. And just default. I remember being in caps lock. Okay. I think this should be pretty visible now. Okay. So now I've set up my store with a number of products. I have a Medusa hoodie and a coffee mug set up here. I have a coffee mug in my store. Okay. So now we have a Medusa store set up with products. Let me bring up the slide. So now we have our Medusa admin backend set up. We're going to go into the next phase of this, which is setting up the storefront. So a Medusa storefront, Medusa calls it storefront, but it's basically a user interface where people can come and purchase the items from your site. So this could be a mobile application, it could be a website, it could be a fridge app for all you care. Medusa offers an HTTP API you can integrate in pretty much anything. So what I'm going to do now is set up my storefront. So like I said, a storefront could be anything. So I'm just going to copy, or I'm going to clone a storefront template. This is the official Next.js template Medusa provides, and I'm going to use that for the purposes of this demo. So I'm going to run let me just copy this command over. Just to recap, I'm running this command, the create next app command. The create next app is from Next.js. And what this will do is basically copy this Next.js template and then copy this into a folder. So I name my backend merge store. I'm going to name my my front end and my storefront. Again, we're not doing anything Medusa specific here. We're just copying an existing Medusa storefront template. That's kind of the beauty of Medusa is it's open source. So there's a million different storefronts you could also use. You could use the many different storefronts. There's mobile applications on GitHub you could copy. Yeah, there's Seville storefronts, there's Next.js storefronts, there's Vue storefronts you could copy and use. Here I'm using the Next.js template. So the Next.js template will require a number of environment variables. Those are stored in the environment template file. Let me show you that file. It's just, I'm still in my store. I need to cd out to my storefront. Cd merge storefront. Where did I name my storefront? I may have made a mistake here. I created my storefront inside my backend. Please do not do this. I'm going to move it out of my backend. Storefront. SCD out of my backend and going to my frontend. Okay. So now I'm going to copy over the environment variables from the template file into an actual environment variable file to CP environment template. Sorry, that went too fast. I just copied the template file into a local environment variable file. And that should be all. That's all the setup it takes for the storefront. Just start that up. My storefront is going to be started on port 8000. I'm going to visit localhost 8000.
So just to be clear, your storefront is what the customers will be seeing, while the Medusa admin is what the store owner sees.
Yep.
Excellent, excellent. So we just I wanted to answer a few more questions here. Some of them have come in. Tope and Obi, Tope and Fortune are asking. So can they use Medusa with other databases aside from Postgres?
Okay, no, you cannot use Medusa. You cannot use Medusa with other databases. So it's kind of a design choice the Medusa creators made, specifically to take advantage of specific features Postgres alone provides. So yeah, it has to be a Postgres database.
Wow. Okay. Impressive. So I think that has answered a few other questions. So even NoSQL databases is not possible. I think Ibrahim had asked that. NoSQL is not possible, right?
Yeah, it has to be Postgres.
Okay. Godwin and a few others are curious. What editor are you using right now? Basically, can you take them through like your dev setup right now?
Okay, cool. I am going to. So right now I have the terminal known as WARP, W-A-R-P. You could look it up. Yeah, but it's a pretty nifty terminal. I like it because as AI integrations, I could basically ask WARP AI here. And my text editor is VS Code. I'm going to be pulling that up in a minute. But yeah, this is WARP and I use VS Code.
Awesome. Cool setup. What's the other question to create? Oh, Godwin is asking, do I need to pay any money to create my e-commerce app using Medusa?
Nope. Everything about Medusa is open source. So from Medusa to this Paystack plugin we are talking about is open source and free. You could use it with you don't have to pay any money to use it. There's no restrictions to.
Amazing.
The code is completely open source. Yeah.
Cool. Take it off. Continue.
Okay. So now we have our Medusa storefront set up. Again, there's a pretty nice looking storefront. I guess that's kind of the beauty of Medusa. Considering it's open source, there's a million different storefronts you could use. This particular one has allowed me to set up my storefront quickly. These are the products I showed you in my admin dashboard. So basically, like we talked about earlier, you manage your products and everything from your admin dashboard. and they're visible from your storefront. So I have a coffee mug and a hoodie here. Okay, cool. Now we're going to talk a little. Could you help me, please, Andrew?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
So we're going to talk about the Medusa and Paystack payment plugin. How you're going to integrate Medusa Paystack payments into your Medusa store. So what features as a plugin Femi and I created offer you? So first of all, it allows you to easily integrate payments. So our Medusa store I created, a storefront I showed you previously does not have payments created. If you wanted to do that, you'd have to create your service alone. You have to create a service from scratch to handle it. We've basically done all that work for you. It's tested, handles all the rough edges that might come with verifying payments for one, and coordinating communication between Paystack and your Medusa store. Okay. It also allows you to verify payments securely. So you offer a storefront. The storefront is available to users to use, but you want to know for sure a user who comes to your store has actually paid you. So you don't have to do anything apart from just adding the plugin to the dashboard and the storefront. And after that, it will handle reaching out to Paystack to confirm a transaction has been completed. And it also handles ensuring you've been paid the right amount and in the right currency too. Cool. Medusa allows you to offer refunds to customers. Refunds are created from the admin dashboard. You could offer customers full refunds if, for example, you could not fulfill a customer's order. You could offer them a full refund, or you could offer partial refund for something like a discount. The plugin allows you to just create the refund in your admin dashboard, and then it handles everything from there on out. The refund will be sent to Paystack, and the person will be credited back. And last but probably the most important, you can rest assured knowing that since the plugin is open source, any data you provide is kept inside your store. Nothing sketchy happens when you provide your keys to the plugin. The code is open source. You can see exactly what it does at any time. We don't host any servers collecting telemetry or any such data from your store, which is helpful if you have to maintain, for example, compliance with certain data protection standards. Cool. So we're going to get back into coding. How do you add payments to your Medusa store? So if I was to bring up my store back, let's just go into the prerequisites. What would you need to add payments with Paystack to your Medusa store? First of all, you need to have a Paystack business setup. So I'm writing my own familiar Paystack here. But you need to have a Paystack business setup. This could be live, or it could also be a test business. And the second thing you need is your public and secret keys. So there'll be links in the chat to documentation on obtaining these keys. I have them, so we're just going to jump into coding now. I'm going to jump back to my terminal, stop my storefront, and stop my backend. So we're going to be making a number of changes. So the first thing we're going to do is in our backend, our Medusa backend, we're going to install the plugin from npm. So I'm going to yarn install Medusa payments. Can't add Medusa payment. Don't forget it. PNPM. But yes, what it does is it's going to install the plugin from npm to your store. Now we need to write code, or we need to edit the configuration of our Medusa store. I'm going to pull up my text editor, and when VS Code now, increase my, so you can see better. I'm going to pull up my Medusa config. The Medusa config is where you manage the configuration of your Medusa store. I'm going to find where we define plugins and just create a new key here. So I want my Medusa store to resolve the Medusa payment Paystack plugin on startup. To resolve Medusa payments Paystack. And the Paystack plugin requires you to provide your secret key. So create an options key and just say secret key. Process.env.paystack secret key. So Your secret key should be defined an environment variable. Don't define it in your code. So I'm going to get to where my environment variables are stored and just create my environment variable here. Cool. So now I'm going to start up the backend again. Let me run it from the VS Code terminal and the dev, and then we'll do the last step of the configuration. Now you've added the plugin to your Medusa config. Medusa knows, hi, hey, I have this plugin, but what we need to do now is enable the plugin. So what does enable the plugin mean? When a user visits my Medusa store from a region, we have a number of regions set up here: Ghana, EU, North America. We need to let Medusa know this payment provider is what we want to use for people in this region. So I'm going to select. So for the Ghanaian region, for example, I want to use Paystack. A Paystack allows you to receive dollar payments as well as cedi payments. So it could just as well work in EU or North America. I need to edit the details of this region. Go to my where payment providers are configured and select Paystack. Cool. So now what we've done here is our Medusa backend will let our storefront know when users visit from the Ghanaian region, a Paystack is available for use in payment. That is all the setup you need to do for your backend, basically. I'm going to pull up my storefront now and do the configuration that I need to do in my storefront. So for my storefront, let me pull up the code editor. Now what we need to do is configure what our storefront shows to users to let them know Paystack is available for payment. So in this particular template, that's defined in the payment info map. I'm just going to pull the payment info map available. But this is not like something you do every Medusa store. It just depends on the particular template you choose to configure. So here I have details for other payment providers, Stripe, PayPal. I'm going to do the same, but for Paystack. For Paystack, if Paystack is selected, I want to name it Paystack, and as a description, secure payments with Paystack. So our storefront is going to show Paystack as the name of the payment option and describe the payment option as secure payment with Paystack. Now the next thing we need to do is when a user selects Paystack payments, we want to show a Paystack payment button. So for that, we'll use the Paystack pop-up. To use the pop-up, we need to install a library that makes the pop-up available. So this library is just a wrapper for the pop-up. It makes it easy for you to integrate a pop-up. But again, you could also do this by yourself if you wanted to. We can install the React Paystack library. And import the payment button from the library. Import payment button from the React Paystack library. I have this wrong. Paystack button. It's called Paystack button, not payment button. Cool. So now you can see in this file we have similar payment buttons configured. We have one for Stripe and we have one for PayPal. So what we're going to do is just do the same, but for Paystack. So I'm going to navigate to the bottom of this page and create my Paystack payment button. I'm going to copy that code over and then just walk through using it. So in case you missed it, I copied this snippet over. And then we'll walk through what this does. So first of all, this checks for our Paystack public key. So the Paystack public key is required because we need to let Paystack know what business we are paying for. So again, this is the storefront. It's not your backend. You've not configured the secret key here. So you need to let Paystack know, hey, I'm paying for Andrew's business. My business name Pipe. So I'm going to provide the environment variable. Wait to set the environment variable, sorry. So I'm going to my environment variable file and just add my public key. Get that. Second. And boom, I have our public key set up. And I'm going to go back to where I was before. So what we do is create a Paystack payment button. We obtain the cards from Medusa. These hooks or these React hooks are exported by Medusa to make it easy for you to access the cards and this callback in React components. So what we do is return the Paystack payment button, tell it that we want to pay this amount, so that the total of our cards is what we send to Paystack as the amount we're paying for. the email of the user paying, and probably the most important part here, the transaction reference. So the plugin we configured on our backend inserts this reference into the data, the session data. So you can expect this reference to be available in the session data once you install the plugin on the backend. This reference is how we verify Medusa payment, how we verify payments on Paystack. So we just tell Paystack the reference for our payments, give it the currency we're paying, and provide a public key and the unsuccess callback. So I have a number of styles here set up. You could style this any way you want. And boom. So now we've defined our Paystack payment button. We need to use it. We need to use it up there where we previously defined, where we saw Stripe and PayPal buttons. So in this switch case, we just add a case for Paystack. So in case Paystack, so what it's essentially doing is if a user selects Paystack as the provider they want to use, we want to return a Paystack payment button. So we use the Paystack payment button created down there and then pass it these props, not ready, and the payment session. Okay, that's pretty much it. Now we go back and start up our, so we need to start up our backend again, and dev, and then also start up our storefront. Ooh. So our backend will load up now, and we also load up our storefront. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is navigate to change the Ghanaian region, so I get to pay in Ghanaian cedis. So I should see prices on my items here show up in Ghanaian cedis. Beautifully. I choose I want to buy the coffee mug here, and maybe I'll add the hoodie too. I'll add the hoodie in size large. I'll add to my cart, and just go to my cart. So here you can see an overview of the cart. I've added the hoodie and the coffee mug. Medusa is in the total shipping costs and taxes. I'm going to provide my details. So this is, I'm basically going to what a user visiting your site to purchase your items would use here. So provide my details, provide the postal code, and continue to deliver. So for delivery, I'll just use Ghana Post. Standard, and now we can choose to pay with Paystack. So just choose Paystack, and we have a beautiful pay with Paystack button here. You need to click this and choose. So what you're seeing here is what a user would see when they choose to pay with Paystack. Because I'm in a test business, Paystack just allows me to simulate the flow. So I'm just going to simulate the flow. But a real user could either pay with card or mobile money. These options are options I've configured on my Paystack dashboard. So success. So I'm simulating the success flow. And boom, I have made my payment. Thank you, order successfully paid. So just like that, you have a store users can visit to purchase items. Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Cool stuff, Andrew. So I just wanted us to go over a few questions that have been asked here. Let me start with one of the most interesting ones. Somebody, Marcus is asking, on the admin side of things, is there support for restricting functionality? So imagine you're a store owner and you have, your storefront people, your clerks and your accountants and all those people. Is there a way you can limit what each person can see?
Yes. Oh, what each person can see. Yeah. So you could configure users, basically the team members of your Medusa store. You could create users and you could assign them roles. So you could invite people to your store and assign them specific roles, which give them different permissions. And all that is up to you.
Cool. Yes. Awesome. I suspected the same as well. Let's see the next question. So Francis was asking why the name Medusa? Why is it called Medusa? Do you guys have an answer for that?
I actually do not. That's a pretty good question. I should find out.
Cool. Cool. All right. Here's something interesting from Ramat. Ramat is asking, Femi mentioned something earlier about test coverage. What would you say the percentage of test coverage for Medusa Paystack is?
So, as far as code, so we have all the functions that Medusa calls covered. If you were to go to the exact code coverage is around 84, I think, but that's just because we have utilities and stuff. But we have all the functions Medusa would call covered, and the test cases are pretty extensive. You could look at it in the repository.
Awesome. Good one. Then there was another question that came in about split payments. Does the plugin support split payments or sub accounts like the way Paystack API does?
Oh, so it currently does not, but it's something we could implement. The Paystack is pretty big, a lot of features. So just raise an issue on the plugins repository, and then we'll look into implementing it.
Right, and they can also contribute to it, right? They can also make pull requests and add features, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Cool. There was one last question about what language did you use for this project? That maybe Femi answered with JavaScript, but maybe can you guys go deeper into what other languages are used?
So the plugin you have shown here is built with TypeScript. The storefront I showed you was built with React. It's a React and TypeScript project. Let me pull that up. But yeah, the front end is a React and TypeScript project. But Medusa itself is built with JavaScript. Yeah, TypeScript and JavaScript.
Nice.
But yeah, for the storefront, you could use any language. You're not locked in.
Oh, cool. So I can use Vue, I can use whatever for the storefront, right?
Yep. It could be Vue, it could be Flutter, it could be a mobile application. Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, that's amazing. Clearly Medusa is pretty extensive and flexible. And now it makes sense why you guys felt it was quite daunting. Ramat again with another question. Ramat is asking, in case of a payment error, does the plugin handle refunds? I think they meant retries as well. Does it handle also retries as well?
Yeah, it handles retry. So refunds is particularly tricky. You don't want to be issuing refunds. I guess I will automatically. So there's cases where we handle refunds automatically. Like say someone pays and does not complete or pays in the wrong currency, does not pay the total amount. The plugin handles refunding automatically. But for other sensitive things, I guess like in case of payment errors due to a network, it should not reach your plugin. It should not reach your backend to begin with. Paystack will not call the on-success callback. So it would not. So I guess it's not a problem you would deal with because the on-success callback the plugin expects should not be called.
Cool. I hope that answers the question, Ramat. I'll take this one from Godwin. Godwin is asking, will the e-commerce platform bear my business name after creating it with MedusaJS? Yes. Will the e-commerce platform bear my business? Yes, it will. I think that's possible. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Do you want to continue with your presentation?
Yeah, I guess all I want to show you last I have to show you is this order on my backend. So this is the order I just placed. You can see the order here. I could capture the payment and mark the order as paid for. And basically, Medusa allows you to create fulfillment. So if I was to ship this product out to the person, I create a fulfillment and they get notified that this product is out for delivery. And like I talked about earlier, you could refund this amount. Say I want to offer this person. Well, let me show you. Say I want to offer this person a refund. I could offer them a refund here. Tell them 20 CDs as a discount. Thank you for being a first customer. Let's just thank this person for being my first customer to my store. And all I have to do, that's all I need to do here. I don't need to do anything on the Paystack side. The plugin handles sending everything to Paystack. And you're done. Cool. That's from my side.
Cool stuff. So, what will the what on Paystack? What will the status be after you've performed the refund on Paystack?
So, transaction. A total transaction will be, so for that one, I did a partial refund. So the total transaction will be marked as reversed, but you still have the funds in your account. So only the amount you refunded for the partial one, the amount you refunded will be reversed. So let me bring that up. So this was the transaction. Paystack marked it as refunded because we issued a refund, but the refund was for only 20 cedis. So I still have the rest of the funds.
Amazing. This is one of the most impressive libraries I've seen, and that's pretty helpful. We have come to the end of the session. If anybody else has questions, please feel free to drop them in the question tab, or you can drop them in the chat and we'll answer them. Thank you very much, Andrew and Femi, for this plugin. Thank you very much to everybody. So if you want to learn more about MedusaJS, there's the Discord link where you can join and meet your future open source collaborator. You can also chat with Andrew and Femi there and learn you learn more about the Medusa team and learn from the Medusa community. You can also catch Femi and Andrew on their Twitter handles or X handles, on Akinyemi and A11Ru on those platforms. You can also follow MedusaJS and Paystack as well. In case you have any tech support issues with Paystack, you can always reach us on email via techsupport@paystack.com. So, 2 more questions have dropped. Okay. Godwin is asking for your handles. There they are on the screen. As for me, Andrew Devrel at Paystack, so you can always find us via email. I want to say thank you very much to open source contributors. Femi, Andrew, this is an amazing platform you guys have, library you guys have built. We look forward to more features, and I hope and pray like the attendees today have also will be willing to contribute as well, open source, and write documentation or even create tutorials out of on Medusa Paystack or MedusaJS itself. You guys have really done well to bring payment processing to us. You've made it possible for us to build Medusa stores and now receive payments, because that was a missing aspect. So great job to both of you, and thank you very much. Without much further ado, I'll say good evening, everybody else. It was great catching you guys here. Yeah, goodbye.
Thank you for joining, guys. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.